So lost in all the happy joy of the end of the Panthers game. Facts are the Vikings need to figure something out at punt returner, as Chad Beebe, as well as KJ Osborn's been benched twice already. Mike Hughes would be a great answer if he does actually get back from his neck, because, I mean, again, screw cornerback, just return punts and kicks. But yeah, so Vikings need to find some answers. Perhaps they should skewer, good at talking today, the free agent listing. So here are 5 free agent punt returners that the Minnesota Vikings need to sign right now. Not all 5 of them, just one. Just pick one. So number 1, I mean, the easy answer would be Percy Harvin, right? So a legendary Viking, great as a return man. Had been working out before the start of the season. Just never caught on with the team. Was trying to make an NFL comeback. I think it would be hilarious and awesome. Probably not going to happen. So, number 1. Obvious answer is Marcus Sherels, right? So the Vikings all-time leading punt returner. And yes, Niners muffs. I get it, right? But 33 years young, pride of John Marshall High School, Rochester, Minnesota, walk-on with the Gophers. We all know the story, right? Career 10.5 yards per return as a Viking, as well as 5 career touchdowns. By the way, in the pantheon of great punt returners, Sherels probably top 20 all time. And that's putting it pretty mildly. So he wants to come back, as well as he would add value both as a kick returner as well as on coverage units as well. And also, he does only have 12 fumbles in his career, but also he's only lost 2. We know when 1 was. So it's whatever. I think that it would make a lot of sense. Obviously, it has a lot of institutional knowledge about the Viking special teams. Number 2. Next up, number 2, through the magic of editing, because the stupid, greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers poached our guy Tavon Austin, Ted freaking Ginn, so 35 years young. Now, we had advocated the Vikings actually taking a pass on Ted Ginn after he got let go by the Bears. He was with the Chicago Bears for a couple of games this season, and mainly it was ahead of the Bears games. Like, I'll get a little bit of intel, but given the Bears offense, it's whatever. But Ted Ginn can still move. He still has some great straight line speed. Has a career 10 yards per punt return, as well as has busted 4 punts to the house back in the day. Now, he's been primarily a kick returner and a wide receiver 4 or 5 for the last couple years, but still has some shimmy in the open field, can still track down and secure a punt, so potentially would be an upgrade there. So number 3, Trevor Davis, who's not technically a free agent, but is on the Washington football team practice squad. Now, you'll remember the name because he was a Packer back in the day. But 27 years young, former 5th-round pick in 2016 by the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Has 59 career punt returns for a 10.1 yard career average, 11.2 when he was with the Packers. I mean, last year was just a cavalcade of mess, right? Does bring some kick returner prowess as well, plus some marginal wide receiver talent, 16 catches for 205 and a touchdown on 25 targets. Not really that important, but did have 3 fumbles last year with the Dolphins and the Raiders when he bounced around between 3 different teams. Like we said, is currently on the Washington practice squad. Vikings would have to poach him, then elevate him to their 53-man rooster. Next up, number 4, a free agent punt return for the Vikings. Now, this one is interesting to me. So, DeAndre Thompkins. No, not DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Thompkins. So, 25 years young, 2019 UDFA out of the Penn State University. Spent camps with the Eagles in 2019 as well as the Steelers in 2020. Played in the XFL for the DC Defenders as a wide receiver and returner as well. But back in Penn State, 10.2 yards per return, career average, plus 2 for touchdowns during his time in Happy Valley. Also, as a receiver, added in 83 receptions for 1,245 yards, 6 touchdowns over 4 years. Was a teammate with Dan Chisena for 1 year. Cool. Did not fumble in college. It's kind of important as we're trying to pick things through here. Lastly, free agent punt return number 5 for the Minnesota Vikings, Davion Davis. Now, if the name sounds familiar, it should, because he was a Vikings UDFA in 2019, wide receiver coming out of Sam Houston State University. Now, the UDFAs, remember, it's 2 7th-round picks in B.C. Johnson and Dylan Mitchell, and then 2 UDFAs in Hollins and Davis. So Davis and Hollins were kind of like this and this last year. Alexander Hollins obviously made the leap a little bit later on, but Davis hung around in camp this year. Now, I don't think he'll work out as a wide receiver, but as a punt returner, dude's got some chops. So 2017 in college, returned 13 punts for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 21.6 yard average. Was first team All Southland Conference, first team punt returner, as well as spent last year on the practice squad. So the Vikings obviously would have some familiarity with him. Mario Maloof has worked with him before, just like he worked with Marcus Sherels last year. So I think the Vikings should go over all their options, because if they don't really trust Osborn back there, if they don't really trust Beebe back there anymore, what are they going to do? I mean, you're not going to put Thielen or Jefferson back there. That's a non-starter. So what's going to happen? Maybe Mike Hughes if he gets back, but the Vikings should at least explore their options in free agency, as well as scouring other teams' practice squads. Just find a guy that you would trust back there to field a punt, and that's all you need to do. Just field the punt. Fair catch. Don't lose yardage, and then don't muff it. That's all we need right now. Boom. But your thoughts? 5 Vikings free agent punt returns that the Vikings should be all up in on. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.